Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video. And after it took me like ages to upload my chart haul for September 2016, I thought I could like continue my video activities here on YouTube with my chart haul for October 2016, so you don't have to wait ages to see what kind of records and CDs I like this month and what I've been charting in my DJ all over the place charts. And so let's get into that. Starting with two CDs you have seen in an unboxing video already. The first one is Ghost, the first time you open your eyes, on Sound in Silence Records. Pretty cover. This came in from Greece and is pretty much one track, one ambient track, deep listening stuff. So 34 minutes I guess, and this is good music. Limited CDR on, limited to like 200 copies, and the same goes for this one. Panoptic Electrical, Disappearing Music for Face. This one also on the Sound in Silence label, which can be described as like scenic ambient and maybe introvert electronica, also listening music, also coming in from Greece, same label. 200 copies worldwide, limited CDR. And the next CD we have came in as a surprise. Didn't know the band, didn't know the promo agency which sent the CD to me. It's Club de Belugas 9, and to be honest, I was a little skeptical at first when I saw this, because well, the artwork came across like more like a major release, but this one is released on Glam Jazz Records, which is more like a smaller label, smaller independent label, although they have released quite a lot of music, especially from Club de Belugas, as you can see here. Is like in the old days when disco records or pop records had the whole listing of records available from artists. And actually this is pretty good, and I'm pretty surprised, and like I became a fan actually. So the band is, after 8 albums, and this is the 9th album of the band, taking a break as far as I could get from the release info. And what they did here is like they did a mixture of like proper artist album and compilations. So you have like original tracks and tracks the Club de Belugas remix, and what this is like a little bit of funky breaks, a little bit of trip hop, a little bit of Latin house, and all that kind of stuff. And this is for that genre, which is in most of the cases more like standard and like generic. This is like pretty individual and well crafted, and so I really like that. And if I had this on vinyl, actually I would definitely play a lot of tracks on here. So there is remixes crafted by a lot of people, like Schizo's Sister. Mo Horizons is a track that Club de Belugas remixed, or like a band that Club de Belugas remixed. Brenda Boykin is here, which is also a vocalist on this album, and a lot of other people. So if you come across this and you listen to CDs mostly and you see Club de Belugas 9 is a pretty much good album. 33 tracks on here if I'm not mistaken. No, 30 tracks on here. So like 2.5 hours of listening time, and this is really enjoyable and really diverse and a pretty much good album. The next one you've seen before as CD version, because I got this in this promo in May I guess, and I charted this in June. So but I liked that so much, so I had to get this as vinyl. The anthology of experimental and electronic music in Turkey, Unsubros. This is really interesting. Covers a spectrum from, as you can see here, 1961 to 2014, and there's a lot of great electronic experimental music on here from artists you might have never heard of, like Bülent Arel, Batuhan Bozkurt, Ilan Mimaroglu, Erdem Hivatjoglu, or however you pronounce those guys, because I don't speak any Turkish at all. This is not a gatefold album, but there's 2 albums, two pieces of vinyl in this anthology, and also a like little inlay which provides a lot of information on the artists, and yeah, a lot of text, and here's the whole track listing, and yeah, a good album. And I had to get this on vinyl to play in mixes I do for the Telepathic Bubble Bath internet radio station we run. And this one also, this is a record that grew on me kind of because it came out on Record Store Day 2016, so in April. And first of all, I thought it was crap, basically because of the German vocals on here, but listening to it in the record store over and over again, like, it really grew on me. And this is Protect, Catalog number 3, Wassermann, die Schallplatte. There's 4 mixes on here, and Protect is a sub-label from the famous German minimal techno label and distributor and record store Compact label. Looks like this. 4 mixes on here, and this is minimal techno with a tongue-in-cheek pop twist, and it sounds a little bit like cheesy German new wave, NDW as it was called in Germany, as like short for new German wave. And it's pretty much cheesy, but there are some good mixes on here, especially these so-called, I don't know what's the name here, the Countdown vinyl mix is more like spooky, haunting, like surface noise, and then you got these vocoder vocals, and pretty much it's an ode, like a celebration of the vinyl format. And there's also a kind of lyric sheet in here, which is more like a hand copied thing. You know, here's Wassermann, die Schallplatte, as you can see here. This is the title, and here is the lyrics, so I will give you like a moment to read that, like a celebration of what records are and stuff. So I guess it's a limited release, I don't know, 500 copies maybe, but yeah, it will be a record that sits in my collection for ages, and it might never happen that I'm gonna play that out, although it's like minimal techno. But this is one of the records that need a special occasion to be played in a special audience and a special vibe. So die Schallplatte might be just a gimmick for me personally, but I love the logo as well, and I will see if I can play that out at any occasion in the future. And the last one for now, for like October 2016, is Razor and Tape Reserve, catalog number 13. Mr. V, Something with Jazz, the remixes. It's like a pretty green vinyl, and this will be like really appreciated by all the proper house lovers out there. 2 mixes by Jimster. The Jimster remix is more like deep house on the fast lane with like soft pads and stuff, and the Jimster dub mix is more like proper deep house, like on a slower path, and more like for late night plushy red light district venues and stuff. Then we have like a remix by Session Victim, which I also know those guys. One of those guys has been more into drum and bass in the past, like in the late 90s, before he joined his partner, and then he like turned into like deep house. So their remix is a little bit more on the disco house side, with a little bit of like laid back twist. And the best remix on here is the B2 remix. So this is a thing that happens for me pretty much often when the B2 mix, which is the last mix on the record, is mostly one of the mix I like the most. And this one is crafted by a group called the Planty Herbs. I don't know if you can see that. I hope there is no glare on the outer sleeve. And this remix is more like a funky affair, like so more broken house, not a straight 4/4. And it reminds me, as I've been writing in my chart post, which you can also find down in the description box below, it's more like remind me of Joachim's Vibromatic remix for Lyle and Hampton and Slim. It's in the mix, like an old 80s classic, and pretty much a funky affair, and also a track I might play out on my show at the Häkken Club in Hamburg on 15th of October, or like 1 week later at the Mojo Jazz Cafe, which is also a DJ gig that came in like 2 weeks ago maybe, after I shot that announcement video for the Häkken Club. So I'm gonna play at the Mojo Jazz Cafe as well, so I will focus on more like down-tempo trip-hop, but also a little bit of new jazz and broken house and funky stuff in that night. So maybe I'm gonna include this one, Razor and Tape Reserve, Mr. V something with jazz, the remixes, in that show as well. So that was it, 6 records to show for my chart haul for October, and I'm getting more into the habit of buying vinyl again, so the trouble I've been talking about is kind of over. Not really, but things are getting better, so I can invest more money in vinyl as well. So I hope you like what you've seen. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, you know the score, and I'm gonna go into editing, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See you later.